All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Raven Stone. Shalom to the elect wishing this word in truth and in sincerity, with hope of receiving mercy of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the name of His only begotten Son. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the charagma written about in Revelation 13 verse 16 on down, which is the MOTB. The miracle drug is the precursor to the MOTB. Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson, dealing with being prudent, because right now the inhabitants of the earth are not prudent, and one of the reasons why they are not is because the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not. So due to the simplicity of the mind, they are going after worldly desires, not knowing the times that they are in, following after vain things that cannot profit them in the times to come, cannot deliver them from the time of wrath which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua declares him going to bring upon the earth, which is the sword, famine, death, and destruction. That's why I'm telling us to eat this roll and go and speak unto the house of Israel. So we're supposed to give them warning from the Lord by the words of his mouth, And we're out there day in, day out, doing videos out there on the highways and byways, declaring the end, declaring the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But as it is written in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 3 and down, say, for gospel be it is it them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach should shine unto them. Right now, their minds have been closed, with all these innovation in technology. All these social media platforms, even from the Instagram, the Twitch, all these different streaming platforms, but people give over themselves to. They're not aware of what's really going on, because all these things are just entertainment, which mean distraction. What are you being distracted from, This new world order being imposed on the populace, But in the times to come, people are going to come to the realization of what the men that were on the highways and byways were declaring, The one who look on as crazy, stupid. You see me? One of them want to scoff at. That will come to pass that when I go come to the realization that, hey man, a prophet had been amongst us. And at that time, the Lord will shut up his mouth of his servants, the prophets, and there is going to be a famine of the word upon the land. And we're approaching these times very speedily, in which censorship is going to be on an all-time high. So this is Proverbs 22 verse 3. A prudent man seeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. That's very true, because the simple now going to give account of what's really going on. They're not aware of what's taking place. They're just living their life, believing that this is, not knowing what's to come. But Esau is a cunning hunter, He's laid in wait, and he's laying in wait right now, setting out various traps. Because right now, people not see the famine that is creeping up upon them, They not see the lacking of certain big stores. This is not coincidentally done, This was all a plan from the global elite. Them not see the burning of certain food plants. Them not see certain countries holding on to their exports because of the conflict going on around the world. They're not aware of what's really taking place on the global scale. Just because them when they wake up, them can go to them local supermarkets, you see me, them corner shops, and food is in there. But how long you believe when society collapse, these food is gonna be in these storehouses, yo? The scripture say they shall suddenly be found empty. What are you gonna do in a time such as that? Let me run this clip.
People are running out of food. They're stuck in their homes. They don't have power. When dangerous weather hits, will you be prepared? Will I even be prepared? We all have to ask those questions. Let's talk about it. This is really scary to think about, that something so innocent and beautiful as snow falling being something that could actually turn into a life or death situation. Whether you're stuck in the snow or you're sick and you don't have power, so you don't have heat, or you can't keep your medicines refrigerated. Those things matter in a time of emergency. And more emergencies are happening on a daily. Right now, there's at least 150,000 without power across the country. 120,000 in Kentucky from the storms there. 5 people lost their life. 25,000 without power in Michigan. 20,000 without power in California. Y'all, this is really hard to bear for a lot of people right now. So if you're thinking about stocking up on your food, make sure you're getting items that are shelf stable, meaning if you lose power, you don't have to worry about those things spoiling. If you don't know anything about canning food, find out right now. Find somebody you trust. Learn how to can your own food so it becomes meals for your family to eat. Because with everything that's happening in California, I'm sure those people right now probably wishing that they did that. People are pleading for help right now. They are writing, "Help us," in the snow. That is how bad it has become. The only grocery store is now closed due to the weight of the snow collapsing the roof. Many homeowners are going to have to experience that, unfortunately, as well, because more weather is coming that is not great weather. They have set up a small food distribution in front of that grocery store that closed. They are giving away protein shakes, diapers, formula, pet food, dog food, and bird food, because people are still trying to keep their animals alive just like they're trying to keep themselves alive. And again, people are writing, "Help us in the snow," because a lot of people are stuck, don't have food in their home, and don't have power. This is life or death. And these are things that we need to start planning for the best we possibly can with whatever we have. I know inflation is, killing a lot of people right now, but we got to do what we got to do, and getting shelf-stable food. So if you don't have power, and getting things that you can heat your home with if you don't have power, making sure you have access to water, clean drinking water. We just really need to be stocking up and paying attention to things that are happening. So just because something is far away from you doesn't mean that you won't experience those things, in your life. Because I never thought I would experience a flood until that 100-year flood ran through South Carolina, Columbia. So we just never know when things are going to happen, and things were really bad. We didn't have power for weeks. It was horrible, because at the time I was living in a trailer, in Sumter, South Carolina. So imagine that type of heat. And let's not mention, in summer, mosquitoes this big floating around. Guys, this stuff is really, really scary, and especially scary if you're not prepared. And even the most prepared person won't have everything they need. Keep that in the back of your mind and know that you can only do what you can do, but there's never really a surprise when walking in a Dollar General. The only surprise you will find is if their shelves are full. Constantly empty shelves, higher prices in eggs. These eggs are way too much for a dozen. Cereal is running low on the shelves. When is the supply going to come in? Why does it always come in with household goods and not with things that you can actually use? From dog food to our food to medication and toilet paper, these shelves are running low each and every day. Stock up now, prepare today, prep today so you are prepared for tomorrow. Guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have yet another incident involving food and the destruction of it. So let's get right into it. The video you are watching is a traffic nightmare. Giant tomato spill caused crashes on Interstate 80 in California on the 22nd of September. The truck driver lost control, hitting a car, then hitting a median. The tomato spilled all over the highway, causing more car accidents, a chain reaction. One person was severely injured. They did not say how long it would take to clean this up, but you guys, you can see.
Yeah, let's get back to the scripture. This is 2 Ezra 6, verse 22. It reads, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown," talking about the farming industry. "The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." See what she has shown up? Empty shelves. And I said nothing as yet. "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid." And what the trumpet is sounding now of the famine to come. And at that time, the trumpet is going to be declared that the famine is here. At that time shall friend fight one against another like enemies. But them a fight for fire, for food. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. At that time, panic I go set in, How am I going to survive? How am I going to provide for my family? And that's why now is the time to be prudent, Now is the time to seek unto your power. And I'm talking to you, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Because the Lord is going to be your guide in those times, in the time of trouble. So let me go to Isaiah 65. I'm going to start at verse 11. Let me start at verse 12. "Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer, and when I speak, ye did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." And this is what we really believe, because Yahweh Shai declared it. So in the time of famine, him are the one who are going to provide for us. Him are the one who are going to keep us. Just as how the Lord make manna fall from the heavens for the Israelites that were dwelling in the wilderness, and make water to gush out of the rock, made Daniel to be fed within the lion's den. The Lord will provide for us in such a time, The Lord will keep us in such a time. So this was edifying you. With that I want to say Kalalal, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Basham Aka Kodesh. Shalom.